play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Warhammer 40k battle reports!
Welcome to the pregame show, guys. I'm going to go into detail about this whole hot mess and why I've brought it. This is 2,000 points of Cadian Guard. Now, I brought it exactly like this. Actually, it's going to be similar to my Catachan list from what I'm imagining. Just because this is how I played Guard in 7th edition for the... I played them a good amount in 7th edition. This is how I like to play them in 7th edition. Just a lot of feet on the ground and a bunch of tanks. And now, with the current force organizations, I can still do that. Gonna start off with my brigade, and of course, starting with my brigade, I'll go right onto my HQs. You see him right there, folks, on the left. That's Castellan Creed. He's gonna be giving me 2 additional command points, as well as the triple order per turn. Now, I brought him because I wanted to run a Cadian force. He's Cadian. It makes sense. I could have just brought a company commander and taken the warlord trait, master strategist or grand strategist, which lets me get my command points back. But I wanted to bring Creed because the Cadian warlord trait's also kind of cool, and it might come into play. Hopefully it does come into play. Beside him, we have 2 Primaris Psychers. I brought them because they can know 2 spells each, and they're going to know the exact same spells. It's going to be Night Shroud and Psychic Barrier. Now, they can only cast, when they also know Smite, they can only cast one of these per turn. But I essentially want both of them to have access to him, just in case something terrible happens to one, like a double miscast, and he dies, and I still have access to both spells. They're going to be very useful for the tanks throughout the game. Troop choices, we got 6 of them all here. They're exact same, because why not? The theme of this list is going to be, I don't know, we'll say plasma, even though there's a bunch of other weapons. We have 6 squads, all the same, 10 guard. They each have a plasma gun. They each have a Voxcaster. And that's pretty much it. I want them all to have Voxcasters because, well, it'd be a shame if they couldn't get an order, if they're too far away for an order. And the plasma guns are just, they're just really good with the new Cadian rules. Let's talk about elites and the Tempestor Prime I forgot about as well. So he's an HQ choice. Talk about him a bit. I brought him because I wanted to bring a Militarum Tempestus command squad. So of course you have to bring a Prime if you want to bring one of them. The Prime actually also helps out because he's a pretty cheap character. He's an officer, and it allows me to bring a relic that I wouldn't otherwise be allowed to bring because of my named characters. So it's going to be Kirov's Aquila. So it's going to, every time my opponent uses a stratagem, I roll the dice. On a 5-up, I will gain an extra command point for myself. Behind him, we have the Tempestors. They're going to have 2 melta guns and 2 plasma guns, and they're going to be, you know, coming in wherever I need them on the battlefield most and helping out. Behind them, Ratlings, just to maybe snipe out some sorcerers, Malignant Plaguecaster maybe, or characters. Take out key features of my opponent's army. Commissars to the right of them, just to keep my army in check. Make sure nothing terrible happens to my plasma guns and all my guard squads. For fast attacks, we'll talk about these 3 Hellhounds here. They look like they've got melta guns on the blue ones, but they're actually going to be heavy bolters because I can't afford melta guns. I'm not that wealthy. They're all Inferno cannons, and I was having a hard time deciding between Sentinels and Hellhounds. I can't remember what the points on the Sentinels were, but these are only 100 points each with the heavy bolter and the Inferno cannon. It's super cheap for what they do with the new Inferno cannon, especially doing 2d6 shots instead of 1d6 at 2 damage. These things are going to be crazy. And they all have track cards as well. I forgot to mention that. Lastly, the heavy supports for my brigade are going to be 3 squads of heavy weapons teams. Out front, we got 2 squads of 3, and they're both autocannons. I brought autocannons because Steve keeps talking up autocannons, and, you know, I want to play them, see how they play, see if they're as good as he makes them sound. Behind them, we have 1 squad of las cannons, because I always like las cannons. Las cannons are always good to bring, especially with the new Cadian rules. Now for the second detachment I've brought to this game, it's going to be Pask and 3 Leman Russes to fill out a spearhead. Now Pask is WYSIWYG. He does have 2 multi-meltas, the Punisher cannon, and the heavy flamer out front, just because I like that model, the one that we have here with the cool looking Punisher cannon. And might as well figured I keep him WYSIWYG. And the 3 Leman Russes in the back, I couldn't afford any sponsons or main guns. Well, not main guns, the gun out front. So they're all just Executioner plasma guns on the top. Again, with the Cadian rules, I want to see how they play out. I think they have a lot of potential. The new Executioner is not doing 6 mortal wounds anymore is great as well. So again, the theme of this list is essentially throwing out a ton of orders with Creed and just getting as many rerolls as I can with all my heavy weapons and plasma guns. On to the 2,000 points of Death Guard that Shay's bringing today. I'll let you take it from here, though.
Alright, folks, so I've been really enjoying the Death Guard this edition. They're resilient, they're tough, they do a surprising amount of firepower, but they are Space Marines. So, to start this off, we've got 3 HQs. Malignant Plague Caster, he's going to be taking Miasma, Pestilence, and I think Putrid Vitality, the one that gives him an extra strength and toughness.
Yeah.
Then we've got a Chaos Lord, or Moose Man as I call him because of his helmet. He's got a Power Sword and the Combi Melta. He's also going to be taking the Relic Fugaris' Helm, yes, which extends the auras of his abilities by 3 inches, so his Lord of Chaos ability will be a 9 inches, I believe, instead of a 6. And a Chaos Sorcerer, just a plain one, not a Plague Caster, with Force Sword. Ignore the Plasma Pistol, it's ran out of juice sometime earlier today or something. And he's going to be running with, let's see, let's give him Miasma Pestilence in case the other guy blows up for some reason. And let's go ahead and give him Curse of the Leper, just to try something. Alright, and for the troops in this battalion, we have a unit of Plague Marines, Power Fist, Bolter on the champion, 2 Melty Guns, because Melty Guns are useful. First of the Plasma Squads, we've got a champion with a Plasma Gun on his back, and Power Fist, and 2 guys with Plasma Guns. Another squad just like the first, or that one just there. Then we have a unit with 2, let's see, what's the bigger one called? Plague Spewers, and a Power Fist on the champion with a Bolt Gun. And then the last of the Plasma Squads. Champion has a Plague Sword and a Plasma Gun on his back, and then 2 more regular Plasma Guns. Alright, and then for a little bit of mobility in this list, because Nurgle's slow, pair of Blood Drones, Plague Spitters, basically just stock out of the box. I've really been loving these guys this game though, or this edition. Okay, and then just to move my Marines around, I got 3 Rhinos, just 1 Combi Bolter, nothing special. MiniWarGaming was nice enough to lend me that one. Yeah. And then for my Vanguard, we'll just say the Sorcerer's the HQ from this one. I've got 3 Hellbrutes, all armed with Twin Las Cannon and Missile Launcher. Good amount of firepower there.